Good morning. It's turned out nice again. How's it going, guys? Mother Friday. It's Friday. Hey, terrible news, guys. I got some bad news. Don't panic. It's not to do with Liverpool. It's worse than that. I'm not going to the pub today. After all, one of my mates has got an appointment, doctor's appointment, something like that, and Steve's not feeling too good either. So he said, "Can we give it a miss?" I said, "Yeah, right." So I was looking forward to it though, because I didn't see you last Friday. So that's good though, because I tell you what, guys, it means we'll be really fresh for Saturday night streaming on here tomorrow night at 7:30 p.m. UK. Now at 9:30 UK tomorrow night, we're going to get Martin on, whose son we did the little fundraiser for, you know, the goalkeeper. I'm sure you saw the video all about that. If you don't know what I'm talking about, come along tomorrow night. And we'll speak to his dad. He jumped on a call with me very briefly. I'll explain to you. He jumped on a call with me last week, did Martin, on the live stream, and we were talking about his son's progress, you know, to do with Liverpool and the Robbie Fowler Academy and all that. And you know, it came up about costs and things, and he was explaining how the parents, you know, they have to put, you know, quite a bit of money in, and I think they'd raised 600 quid, or they had to pay 600 quid in 6 weeks to send the lad off on this trip to Dubai, right? And he said, but we've only sent it with 150, you know, for 18 days, poor lad, sort of thing. And I pushed him. He didn't ask for help. And I said, what would you like to have sent him away with? And he says, well, 500 would have been a good dunk, you know. And I said, right, I'll find a 350, right? Because they had 150 already. I said, I'll find it, leave it with me. We'll see what the community can do. And as far as I'm aware, I haven't checked this morning. I know it's close to 700, I think, which has way exceeded the 350 that I pledged. And I know they're very grateful. So he's going to jump on the stream tomorrow night around 9:30, I reckon. I'm going to do a quiz tomorrow night as well. So I fancy doing a quiz, give some KopTalk memberships away, something like that. And it'll be the usual shenanigans, you know. Hopefully you'll come along and support me and buy me a drink, you know what I'm saying? Oh, that'd be nice. But yeah, anyway, so I'm going to be live on here today. If you're not doing anything, you know, or even if you are doing something, you want to sneak in for 5 minutes, probably around 10 a.m. UK time. I think it's 8:22 back in England at the moment. And you know, for several hours, you know, I've got no need to rush off this afternoon. We'll you know, I might have to jump off at some point, but I will be working. That's the only thing. So I will be working, but you guys can be in the chat room. I'll have you on the monitor next to me, and you know, obviously I do cast my eye over it and talk to you guys, but it's not highly exciting. It's very chilled. I've got work to do, but it does give us an opportunity to talk about things that are happening in real time to do with the club, if anything at all. Obviously, we've got the internationals at the moment. I put the England game on last night. Oh, God, what a snooze fest. I know they won, and it's a great result and all that, winning in Italy and stuff, but I don't know. I just don't fancy it at all, you know. But there was nothing else to do, so what else have I got to say? No, that's that. To join me on here through the day. I'm going to try and start doing the streams again during the daytime, you know. I quite enjoyed it yesterday. It was good. And I know that we'll have, you know, a couple of people might jump on a call today as well. So I'm looking forward to that. Anyway, so this Paul Mitchell fella, right? This is the reason I wanted to make the video, actually. When I have my first cup of char of the day, Yorkshire tea biscuit brew. Beautiful, beautiful. John McCaffrey, those tea bags haven't arrived yet, just letting you know. Paul Mitchell, the AS Monaco sporting director, I think his title is, being linked with the club since back in January, I believe. Maybe sooner, earlier, I'm not sure. Definitely, I remember in January. And the reason I'm making the video is he's quite highly rated, you know, considered quite a good transfer guru, if you like, in Europe. When I heard of him being linked with us, I thought we were more likely to, you know, to get fucking, you know, Grant Mitchell or Phil Mitchell or something like that. Do you know what I mean? You know, if you're not from England, you'll have to Google it. Grant Mitchell, Phil Mitchell. The Mitchell brothers, they were great. I don't think they'd allow them on TV today, would they? They were both giving that Sharon one, weren't they, at some point, you know what I'm saying? And do you remember when they'd been running around with baseball bats and everything? Like, oh man, the Mitchells were great. I stopped watching it instead. I used to watch it, but only because they were in it. And Dirty Den as well, he was another corrupt motherfucker, but he was good. I like characters. Brendan Rodgers would say characters. So yeah, we're more likely to end up with Phil Mitchell, like, lashed up and... Anyway, so... You see, I wanted to do a full-on impression of Grant Mitchell then, but you're not supposed to swear in your video. You can swear, but then they limit the video, you know what I mean? So if you want me to be me, like real me, which is what I'd like to be, you know what I'm saying? Make sure you join my channel, because then that compensates for YouTube penalising me, just saying. Look, God likes a try, all right? The reason I'm making the video is because on social media last night, I saw accounts and not personalities, individuals saying, this Mitchell. Every time I think of Mitchell, I think of them too. This Paul Mitchell, he's rejected Liverpool. So much going wrong at that club. Blah blah blah. FSG this, FSG that. Now listen, I don't want FSG at Liverpool. I'll be honest with you. I'm very transparent with my views. I don't think they've been terrible. I don't think they've been fantastic, as Brendan Rodgers would say. But I think it's time someone else took over, and I would rather personally just have football people at the club, passionate football people. Now, from my point of view, over the years, from my own experiences, so if I leave your country out or whatever, please forgive me, I just maybe haven't been there. But the most, for me, really passionate Liverpool fans outside Liverpool is like the Irish, Maltese, and the Arabs, you know what I'm saying, right? These are the places I've been to over the years where they honestly, it's just another level. If you're from another nationality or another nation, don't think I'm saying you're rubbish. It just means you haven't been there. Do you know what I mean? But I do think, the Arabs are very passionate about the football, and I think contract negotiations would be great. Sign that, otherwise we'll chop your fingers off. Perfect. It'd be done in weeks. It wouldn't drag on forever. The Irish, they'd just be lashed up if they had the money. And the Maltese, I don't know what the Maltese would be like. I don't know. I love Malta. Malta's a great country. When I was growing up, I always said I'd either live in Malta or Spain. And I think I would rather have lived in Malta, but it's just I ended up here. Can't complain. I love Spain. So, that rhymed. I'm a poet and I didn't know it. So, I always do that, don't I? Go off on one, don't I? And then forget what I was talking about. So I was saying about them. Yeah, football people. I want football people to own the club, Simple as that. I don't like FSG, to be honest with you. And I am, I am kind of FSG out, right? I'll be very honest with that. I'm like, I don't want them at Liverpool. So that puts me in the FSG out thing. But I'm not going to let it ruin my life. I'm not going to, it brings you down if you focus too much on it, trust me, and I've been there. And in particular, in recent months, I thought that they might leave, so I was very, excited and upbeat and really looking forward to a happier future because, and when I say happier future, I mean more so amongst the fans, like the fans will stop arguing for 5 minutes, do you know what I mean? And it would just be nice to have that reset and let's go again kind of thing. As a wise man once said, let's go again, we go again. But that obviously isn't happening. But yeah, but the reason I mention this is because I won't use every opportunity to criticise the owners for agenda. All right, I won't, guys. And it's like these people that are obsessed with politics, whether they're on the far left or on the far right, whichever side they're at. Where they refuse point blank to take somebody else's opinion. Whoever they vote for or support or whatever. Their policies, they're always right. They could never be wrong. And the people on either side are the enemy. When it comes to politics with me, I can take a bit from each side, and say, well, actually, I wouldn't vote for that person, but I can agree with that. That's quite good what they've done there. And we need that when you're a supporter. You've got to be honest. You can't, every single thing FSG do or everything that goes wrong at the club, you can't blame them for every single thing. Technically, you can say, well, they're at the top. It falls with them. True. But I just don't like it when people use it as an opportunity to criticise the owners when it's probably not even true anyway. So criticise them by all means for every factual thing that you are displeased about. But people are on, social media and getting really wound up saying, Mitchell's turned us down, he didn't want the job. There is no suggestion at all that one, that's happened anyway, that he's turned anyone down. And two, from the people that I've been speaking to and, people that I would trust, they're saying that Liverpool have not even, made him an offer or, spoken to him. It's been played down, basically. Let's not worry too much about the technicalities, because maybe they have spoke to him somewhere. When we talk about speaking to someone, whether it's an agent, a player, another club, there's so many ways of getting around it, right? So Liverpool, as other clubs as well, will use third-party representatives, right? So they're asking someone to go and speak to that person on their behalf. But if they're asked, like, have you spoke to... Liverpool can go, no, we haven't done anything. But someone has a third party, right? It's a technicality, right? So then that's why you have formal talks, informal talks, so stuff like that, And so you've got to be careful with the wording. So maybe they have spoke to him, or someone spoke to him, or maybe there has been something happening, right? But people at the club, as Rafa would say, for sure, people at the club, Rafa, they're playing it down. Now, just because someone plays it down doesn't mean that they must be telling the truth, because you often play things down because you don't want it to get out there. And you also play things down when you are embarrassed. You know what I'm saying? So if I come on here and tell you, I met this great girl on Saturday night, I absolutely right? If I tell you that, and then she comes on here, and then leaves a comment saying that's not happened, I'd play it down and go, I wasn't bothered anyway. I was drunk. Do you know what I'm saying? Because you don't want to show yourself up, right? Not that would ever happen to me, guys, right? Only because I'd rather have a bacon sandwich. Anyway, so the reason for the video, right, is these people are telling you today that Mitchell has rejected Liverpool because they don't like the setup at Liverpool and they're not impressed with the owners. And then ordinary people, all right, like you and I don't include myself in this, and maybe not you specifically, but the whoever's out there, get wound up because they believe it and they go, see, I knew them owners, they're gonna get, and it's like setting everybody off. There is no proof whatsoever that he has rejected Liverpool at the present time. And I hate this when we see, we might be linked with a player and it'll say, let's make up a name, Almario. Is there a player called Almario? I've spelled it with double O. Anyway, Almario has rejected Liverpool. He's turned down Liverpool. And the amount of times Liverpool must look at that and go, someone at Liverpool didn't even offer you, what are you talking about? Turned us down, knob jockey. Do you know what I mean, guys? So sometimes these people put this stuff out, rejected, but there was never anything to reject in the first place. So, look, I'm all for bashing FSG, right? Not like with baseball bats or not like that. I once said that about Tom Hicks and said we should jump up at the end of his bed with baseball bats and ski mats, and someone reported me to the police for saying it. I said, please prosecute. I could do with the publicity, it'd be great. Because I really meant it. He just smash his head in. What was that about? There's a fly in here, look. I hate flies. That's your fault, Remy, because you probably curled one off out there, have you? Oi, get down. See you. Yeah, that's it. I don't know. I think you know what I mean. I don't, Liverpool officials are just basically saying, and to the clique, by the way, they're telling people that they're happy to give news to. They are telling them, we were not offering him a position. We didn't offer him a position. We weren't doing that, blah, blah, blah. You have to decide whether that was true or not. I mean, maybe they're saying that because they have been rejected. I don't think so, personally. There you go. So just because, listen, even if you are the absolute biggest, anti-FSG person out there in the world, just keep it real, because you're only letting yourself down if you're then spinning stuff to suit your agenda. And if you're doing that, you're losing, right? Because if you want to criticise someone, then do it for genuine reasons, right? Because that means it means something. If you're just latching onto something for the sake of criticising them, that's not right, in my opinion. I'm very fair. I'm sorry, guys, and I know some of you might not like me saying that, but I prefer to be fair. It doesn't mean that I support them in the slightest. I support Linda. You know that bacon sandwich I was talking about, you know?